Welcome back to your horsemanship. Back here Monday morning from the expo. Like I said, but tapes, I had fun at the expo. And plus, it was a serious side to me where I did my clinics, demos, and all. But here today, now we're dealing with Falcon Ridge. The fun's over with. We got Mickey. Came across this little Shetland pony who's older. I don't know how well the feet are showing up because I'm in the shade right now because he's got elf feet. They're really curved up bad, so I got to cut him down. What I'll do, I'm not going to show the full process of this because it's going to be really time consuming. That's going to be a while, but I'm going to say this, people. She had two horses come in while I was gone. Well, him and another skinny horse. And the other horse is really immaculate. I mean, really super skinny. You know, you people, when you can't feed your horses, and if you get your horses that far gone, you know, I'd rather see you put them down. You know, don't drop your worries off on somebody else. Take responsibility for your horses. There's no reason why your horses should get that darn skinny. You know, stop it. You know, they start getting ribby, get their teeth floated, or do whatever. If you don't have the money, get rid of them while they're healthy, so at least somebody is not going to have to spend tons of money to get them back up. You know, here at Falcon Ridge, that's what we do, but after a while, it does get to you. I mean, we're human beings. We got, you know, we're supposed to be the caretakers of this earth. We're not the ones supposed to be tearing these animals down. So with that preaching aside, anyway, I saw this little guy and I got to trim him down. And, you know, a lot of farriers will tell you, you can only take so much off at a time. That's a yes and no question answer. I can take as much hoof off as I want to, as long as I don't change the angle of the hoof much. That's the secret. That's the angle. Let's say he's got real high heels and a darn toe this long. I can take this toe all the way back to here. But this heel, I can only, if it's too high, just lower it down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, work on his feet. Let me show you before and after pictures on it. Like I said, we're in the shade because this is going to take a while. It's hot. And I don't know if you can really see how bad they are. Since he is in the sun, he's underweight, he's old anyway. So, you know, he's probably don't have that much longer on this earth anyhow. But at least here he can die with some dignity. So what I'll do, I'm going to take my nippers right here. I'm going to use it for this toe. I'm going to use this one. I got one front one trimmed. And what it took was this and of course my nippers. Two different sized nippers. And like I said, I just use this top hoof part of my guide and just cut down. It's going to take a couple more trimmings before his feet are back to normal. But at least after I get done and after he walks around for a few days. So one down, 3 to go. Alright. We got 2 done. Basically, the way I did the fronts is because I can't, you don't want a pony's foot or a horse that gets this long and everything. You got the hoof growth is not good, so it gets real hard, harder than normal. So it's just about near impossible to cut with nippers at first. So what I did with the front, right here, to start off with, just angle my saw. start cutting. You know, average person, don't do this. Average person, don't try this at home, as they say. Alright, now I got that excess toe off. And like I said, this stuff should be done by a farrier, not the average person. So now I got to start. So what I'm going to do is take my nippers, and instead of picking the foot up and trim it like you normally do, I'm going to just take them and use that top part for my guide and cut down. Because I'm cutting on an angle. And with this little guy's feet, you know, it might get a little, draw a little bit of blood, but that's alright. It'll just encourage new hoof growth. Oh man. So all I'm doing right now is just trimming like what a normal horse. Donations appreciate. They could really use it. I mean, because there's between vet bills and everything. Shoot, $1 to us is just as big as 100. You know, because it's the thought that counts, and that money goes back to these creatures. That don't go to line our pockets or nobody else's. And so, if you would, you know, please help Nikki out. I mean, it's the first time I've asked for donations for Falcon Ridge, but you know, we got about 50 head of rescue horses here. We got a good set of volunteers. I mean, I'm not going to name them because there's a mess of them, and they're all just as good as the next one. So we really appreciate their help. So, anyway, with that said, now what I'm going to do is, I've got the rough cut on this hoof. I'm just going to go back and dress it. What we call dress it up. Smooth it out. Try to get some kind of shape to it. Sorts. Right now I'm leveling the hoof off. It's going to take a couple of trims. It ain't going to be a one-time deal. To get his feet normal. Now, right now, he'll be, as soon as he figures out he can walk again, and that's pretty much the process we go through. And, you know, no use filming the other one. Y'all got a good idea. And like I said, please, y'all, please don't let your horses ever get to this kind of shape. And there's no real cause for it, except for fun and laziness. So anyway, this is a fine example. Be true to the horse. They'll be true to you. Be true to yourself. And God bless. And next time I see you, hope it's a little bit more happier note. See if I can come up with something interesting to teach us. Alright, take care.